Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the globe. It is your darling program, The Comrade and Friends, a segment of The Comrade Show. As usual, today promises to be a very unique event because we've got lots of activities to talk about. Not least, the issue of Tinubu and Wike under Islamic fire. We shall be looking at the Gaza-Israeli war and also Edo State and the recent happening in Edo State. Do not touch that die. We'll be with you in a moment. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, friends of the Comrade Show. It is your darling program, The Comrade and Friends. Today, the 23rd of October 2023. I'm not alone in the saddle. I have with me the CNC of the Comrade Show, Comrade Lante Bonsaraki. Comrade Lante, do you want to say hello to our wonderful viewers?
Yes, thank you very much, Comrade Pharmacist Austin Remiran. Yes, Nigerians, greetings to you all wherever you are joining us from. It is the Comrade Show. Please share the broadcast and let's get it rolling. Over to you, Pharmacist.
Thank you so much, Comrade Lamte. Always a pleasure to be in your company. Friends and viewers of the Comrade Show, you know the deal. Please do share. Don't watch alone and follow us on TCS blog. At some point in today's program, and as usual, we'll open the lines and we'll ask you to ring in. It's always good to hear your comments, hear your opinions and your suggestions. And for our lovely viewers who always follow us online, you are free to make your comments. But please let us share and remember to follow us. Comrade Lante Baosaraki, before we start the show, it's good to give honor to who honor is due. As true Edolites and people that emanate from the Benin Kingdom. Only this week, His Royal Majesty, the Oba of Benin, celebrated his birthday anniversary and also 7th day in the throne of his forefathers. And I think Benin and everywhere in the entire world was in serious happiness. And lots of messages were sent to the palace and to the king. Long may he live and long may he reign. And may his reign bring peace and joy to the entire Benin Kingdom. I say happy birthday to His Royal Majesty. Comrade Lamte, what are your thoughts?
Honestly, first, it is 7 years on the throne. The celebration is ongoing. It's going to last for a while, to be honest, even though you don't see open celebration in the streets. I think the anniversary of Omonoba's coronation coinciding with his birthday celebration is a very huge event in the kingdom, in Nigeria, in the entire black race. And we are very honored. We are very happy, to be part of this heritage, to be honest with you. Today, every Benin man all over the world is proud, is happy, because this is one event that is ordained by God. It is not by coincidence that Omonoba's anniversary is coinciding with his birthday. This is the only royal majesty in the entire black race. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? So honestly, we cannot be expressive enough. We can only just join the world to celebrate His Royal Majesty, celebrate ourselves, because while we are celebrating His Majesty, we are actually equally celebrating ourselves, celebrating the Benin race, celebrating the kingdom of Benin, because it's been a long time coming. And honestly, we cannot be prouder than we are. It's all glory to God, because we are a chosen people, the Edo people, the Benin people, the United Kingdom of Great Benins all over the world. They are quite a unique people, and this occasion, speaks very much to that. You could see that in so many things. The Benin City today is adorned with lots of what make us, and we are a very unique people. I mean, you can see that with the kingdom. So a very big celebration for the palace, for the Omonoba, His Royal Majesty, Oba Ewaye II, and of course for the entire kingdom. Glory to God. Long may he reign. Omonoba Atokbe.
It's Yeah, thank you so much, Comrade, for those beautiful words on the occasion of the birthday celebration and 7th year coronation. I just want to say that I was born and bred up in Benin. I think I am so privileged and happy that I've seen 3 Obas in my lifetime, even though I can say that I really grew up to know two. I think I was about 2 or 3 years old when the Oba coronation took place around 78, 79, and
Yeah,
we lived with that Oba until 7 years ago when we had another one.
yeah,
So a Benin kingdom continued to grow, and God will always give His Royal Majesty wisdom to look after all of us. I did
amen.
say Oba Atokbe again. He
Yeah.
said,
Good wishes have been coming from all across the world, from everywhere. The Oba has been receiving messages, goodwill messages, and the whole world has been celebrating the Oba of Benin. To be honest with you, from governments to individuals to friends of the kingdom to children of the kingdom to everybody. As a matter of fact, I equally put this one up, Doctor Loretta Oduware equally sent this, to celebrate, the Omonoba on this occasion, this auspicious occasion. That's the Loretta there, equally celebrating the birthday and the coronation anniversary of the Oba of Benin. And that's it. I mean, things like this have been pouring in, you understand? It's just that we can only take this one right now, this minute. But honestly, it's happy days for the kingdom, it's happy days for Edo State, and by extension, it's happy days for Nigeria.
thank you so much, Comrade. I think earlier this week there were some bad news from Edo State, but when the birthday celebration featured the sort of calm frame nerves, I believe at some point in today's program we'll talk about it. So long may our Oba reign. We wish him good health, long life, and prosperity. And prosperity not just for himself, his family, but for the entire Benin Kingdom and by extension Edo State and by implication Nigeria. Obaga Tokpe is said.
It's
Thank you so much, friends and viewers of the Comrade Show. Last Sunday was very epic. We took a long time to talk about the Israel-Gaza Palestine war, and Dr. Tony Agbons gave a very good expose and educated all of us of this war. And we did pray that hopefully in 7 days' time things would have gone well. Some people will say no, some people may agree differently. Only after our program on Sunday, following from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, there were visits from top diplomats, presidents of countries, and prime minister. I think the president, the head of the United Nations was also there. And we saw President Joe Biden of the United States visiting the area and also meeting with the Prime Minister of Israel. And then we had the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Rishi Sunak, also doing all the diplomatic visit and talk. And to some extent, it has paid off in some ways, although many people will not agree fully, because they also think that their presence there, drumming support and only visiting Israel, could be paving way for what we feared last Sunday. But having said that, we think their visit has given a bit of positivity. The corridor has been open, and the gate in Egypt, with the boundary, I don't know what they call it now in Egypt, has been open as well to allow some humanitarian movement, both in terms of materials and people. So that is good news. We hope that this week going forward, better things will happen. Comrade Lamte, you were very, very worried last Sunday. How does this meet you?
Well, I mean, we definitely must applaud the deal brokered by Joe Biden of the United States. They have been able to allow, medicine most especially, and about 20 trucks of aid go into Gaza. I think this morning we equally understand that about 6 tanks of petrol have equally gone in to service some of the hospitals there and all of that, through Egypt border. I think those are, welcome developments. But we must say that we are still very much on the edge of our seats because the matter appears not to be, spilling into Lebanon, with Hezbollah, as they say, and all of those people equally trying to, pitch tent Gaza,
The
Hamas,
Palestine.
not really Palestine. I think we need to separate the Palestinians from Hamas in a very technical way, and all of that, So that's on one part. Again, the role of Iran cannot be overlooked. So we are still very much hopeful that this matter will not eventually escalate beyond what it is. And while we are speaking right now, we don't know exactly what day is going to be. Israel is still committed to mounting, a very serious ground invasion, ground, air, and sea invasion on Gaza. You understand? So all of these things, I hope that Israel can listen to reasoning, and I hope the international community can be able to prevail on Israel as they have done now to allow some aid go into Gaza. And I hope even the aid that's going to Gaza, I hope it will not be a one-off thing. Because at the end of that, I don't see what 20 trucks is going to do for millions of people. Gaza is very, very highly populated and all that. So while these negotiations are going on, I hope that Israel will allow a longer spell for this humanitarian effort to continue. But meanwhile, the world need to really prevail on Israel, to ensure that this matter will not escalate. Because the fear is, if this war escalates beyond Gaza, probably spill, with Hezbollah involvement, and Iraq gets to get involved and every other thing, and with the threat coming from the Arab League, some of the nations in the Arab nations, we are going to see a huge problem, because a country like Turkey that is part of NATO, okay, we're probably going to see, that begin to create a very huge problem with NATO itself, disorganization, so to speak. And the biggest fear is that may this war not eventually escalate to a third world war that nobody wants to see, particularly now that many of these countries have now, be empowered to have nuclear warheads and all of that. Because if there's a third world war, there's no way we are going to, we are going to evade a nuclear war. And once that happens, I tell you, nobody can tell what is going to happen, because the capability of many countries right now, cannot be overemphasized. There are so many countries too that are not speaking out. They have very, very serious capability of, being able to destabilize the entire world, if not eradicate humanity altogether. So these are the areas that where we are looking at these things from. So we hope that they are able to, curtail this matter to where it is, and keep things under control, and hopefully, find an exit route. But the rhetoric coming out from Iran, coming out from some of these Arab nations, coming out from Hezbollah and all of those things, they are not helping at all. It's unfortunate. If you don't mind, because somebody was asking me, some time ago, was asking me what is actually the history and the genesis of, all of these, matters. You understand? I thought it's instructive. And if you don't mind, pharmacists, I would like to play this 2 minutes video of the Israeli Prime Minister, who
Yeah, I
laid
think that's very good. I really love that.
a very appropriate foundation so people can understand what is really happening here. Let's take a listen, everybody.
The Jewish people have lived in the land of Israel, what is now the state of Israel, have lived here and have been attached to this place for about 3,500 years, 3.5 millennia. Now, roughly for 2,000 years, we were conquered by the Romans, we were conquered by the Byzantines. They did a lot of bad things to us, but they didn't really exile us, contrary to what people think, okay? The loss of our land actually occurred when the Arab conquest took place in the 7th century. The Arabs burst out from Arabia, and they did something that no other conqueror, not the Romans, not the Byzantines, not the Greeks before them, not Alexander the Great, nobody did before. They actually started taking over the land of the Jewish farmer. They brought in military colonies that took over the land. And gradually, over the next 2 centuries, the Jews became a minority in our land. So it is under the Arab conquest that the Jews lost their homeland. The Arabs were the colonials, the Jews were the natives dispossessed. Well, that happens in history. The Jews were dispossessed. We were flung to the far corners of the earth, suffered unimaginable suffering because we had no homeland. But we didn't disappear, and we never gave up the dream of coming back to our ancestral homeland. The Arabs who had conquered the land basically left it barren. They never made it their own. It was a barren land. It really had, practically, it was an empty land. And in the 19th century, the idea of coming back next year in Jerusalem became a reality. By the way, in part because of Christian Zionist support for the idea of the Great Return. The Jews came back in the 19th century to the land of Israel. The result of this return was that we started building farms, factories, places of employment. Arabs from nearby countries started immigrating, and they now they call themselves Palestinians. They reconstructed history and said, we've been here for centuries. You have no right to be here. It's our land. It's not your land. It's been our land for 3,500 years. If you took over somebody's apartment, knocked them out, dispossessed them, and they never gave up the claim. They said, it's our claim. And you left this barren dump, okay? And the families, the progeny of the people you kicked out, came back, rebuilt the house. You cannot come back and tell them, you don't belong here, we're gonna kick you out, especially since you're latecomers who've come to live in part of the house, which is what the so-called Palestinians are, okay? We say to them, you can live here, we can live here, but it's our land, it's our state. And the reason this conflict continues is because the Palestinians, who represent the colonial powers, the Arab conquest of the Middle East and beyond, they're saying, you have no right for a Jewish state. Well, we do. If any people has any right to a state, if any people never gave up their dreams of returning to their ancestral home, the Jews belong to this land belongs to the Jews, the Palestinians are free to live here next to us, among us, but they're not free to demand the dissolution of the Jewish state. That is not justice, that is injustice. That's the shortest lecture I can give you about Jewish history.
Yeah, Comrade Lamte. Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. I thought that was a very powerful,
Absolutely.
lecture by the Israeli Prime Minister. I think it is essential we play that so that people can begin to, understandably, understand exactly what is happening, so that things can properly be put in their perspectives the way they are, as it were. Apart from if you allude to holy books like the Bible and even parts of the Quran, there are parts of those books that corroborate, what the Israeli Prime Minister, just talked about. And so, at the end of the day, I think that the position of a two-state solution, is the only thing, that I believe will bring a lasting settlement. You understand what I'm saying, to these nations. What breaks my heart is that when you look at these people and you look at their ancestry, they're actually children of the same great ancestry. So
Absolutely.
to see this fight, like this, it's really, really unfortunate, that people cannot, truly love themselves. You understand what I'm saying? And they show blood. You know what I'm saying? Rather, project love. You understand? And when you try to blame Israel for their reactions right now, and you take your eyes off, the act of terrorism carried out by Hamas, you understand, at the Israeli border, capturing people, killing people, and all of that, at the end of the day, where are you going to start from? Again, you take your mind back to what is happening with the Israeli settlements, at the whole, what I've been saying, stop, and some provocations here and there, and the number of rockets that fly from Gaza into Israel, on a regular basis, and all the victims, that have died or have been made because of this crisis. So there's really nowhere you're going to, count it from. I just think that the world should prevail on Israel and prevail on the Palestinians, on Gaza, to just take action and so that they can find a lasting solution. And the last solution, I believe, is the two-state, the two-state solution. If the text of the two-state solution is honored and obeyed and respected by everybody, I honestly think we'll be fine. You understand? But to ensure that what happened, over just less than 2 weeks ago, the act of terrorism, that it does not happen again is probably why Israel is taking this measure. And I think that all of those tunnels that have been dug from Gaza into Israel that they use to perpetrate all different kinds of acts, I support Israel to bombard and destroy all of those things and break all of those possible links that probably can result into any future kind of attack from these terrorists. And if they can really exterminate all of them, pardon my language, the terrorists themselves, not the innocent people, they can identify them, they have that intelligence to identify them and cleanse them off, so that they can be lasting peace. I think that will be fine. Otherwise, I honestly think that all sides should take action so that we can save this world, for the future.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Comrade Lampton. I must thank you for that video. I just want to say that in all, lives have been lost. It is recorded that over 4,000 people have died.
So far.
And for a small country, I think like Switzerland or so, who has a population of about 4 to 5 million, you can confidently say that if they were to be that country, they've lost about 1% of their entire population. One life is even important, not to talk of thousands and thousands. And because we don't know if there's going to be an end in sight, we don't even know if that would increase. I think the video you played from the mouth of the Prime Minister Netanyahu was very apt. That would have also educated so many of our listeners and viewers. I also learned a thing or two about it. And like you said, a two-state solution would be the best. And it appears that Israel has accepted that, but the Palestinians are yet to accept that. It also just reminded me of, when you are doing anything and you don't have a plan, sometimes it somewhat backfire. And so the Arabs eventually conquered the Jews and they took their land, but probably because they never knew what they wanted, they never did anything about it. Of course, gave Israel the time and the Jewish Israelis then to come back and repossess their land. If you look at America, we still have Native Americans, but they understood what to do and kept them there. But maybe all this is all designed because, like you said, it's not really conquering anyway, Lamte. They have lived together. I was very shocked on Sunday when Dr. Tony Agbons even informed that in Israel as a state, they have well over 20% that are Muslims. If you agree that the entire Arab world, majority of them are Muslims. So you can see that we clearly established last Sunday that this is not a religious war. It's just a war on the ground of possession of landed property. Even though one of them is likened to one religion, because Israel is not a Christian country. They are Jewish, and Jewish is not in any way Christianity. Just a warning to many people far and wide who may want to interpret it differently. But what we are agreeing today is that we want a ceasefire. We don't want any further death, and we want a lasting solution. And we think, in our view, that the two-state solution will be better. Just before I round up, Comrade, you were itching to say something?
No, that's it's part of the problem of this whole issue. On the part of Israel, it is just issues of land ownership, really, on the part of Israel. But on the part of the Palestinians, on the part of Hamas and all of those people that are aiding them, it is beyond just land ownership. You understand? And religion has crept in. Iran and their support for the Palestinians and their spiritual leader of Iran, issuing certain statements every now and again, Lebanon and Hezbollah and all of those people, and all Muslim nations across the world. For them, they see it as a religious war. You understand the picture?
But
it's not only a religious war. This is issue of land dispute. You understand? Land dispute. That's what it is. So the interpretation is different depending on where you are standing. For the Israelis, it's got nothing to do with religion. You understand? For them, it is issue of their own heritage. You understand? Their own history, their land that they were dispossessed of, and they want to reclaim their land back. But for the Palestinians, it is religious. It is for them, some of those monuments in those places, They are holy monuments, they are religious monuments. The mosque, they have, was a forever history with those monuments and all of that. And so that is what is really, really aiding the conflict. And it may interest you to know, and I'm surprised at that. And so Gaza Strip, most especially, has survived the way they have, you understand, with their own relationship with this Israel. Most people with the best of jobs in Gaza, okay, their jobs and the stream of their jobs is coming from Israel. Their food supply is from Israel. Their water supply is from Israel. Their electricity is from Israel. So they enjoy this economic relationship with Israel. They are very much dependent on the Israelis, and yet they allow the terrorist group Hamas, because I don't want to use Hamas to represent everybody. Well, everybody in Gaza, in Palestine, it's not a terrorist. But there are a handful of people who are benefiting from all those queer way of living, who just drag the entire nation into a battle that they unnecessary they needed not to have at all. They exploit aspects of of Quran to hoodwink the people. We are equally seeing that in Nigeria take place, where they don't say the truth about the Quran. They just use some aspects of it, deceive the people, and lead them into unnecessary war. That's exactly what we are seeing. And at the end of the day, people pay the price. Most of them innocent people who are not part of this whole arrangement. So at the end of the day, it's really, really sad that the matter is the way it is.
Yeah, thank you so much, Comrade Lamte. We have to leave the issue of Israel, Gaza, and the Palestinian. I don't want to call it war now, but let's say misunderstanding at that. We hope and pray that hopefully by the time we come again next Sunday, there would have been a remarkable improvement on the journey to peace. Peace is the only way. We have to live together. And like you said, analyzing just now that they've lived together, majority of their economic support and otherwise even come from the state of Israel. That goes to show how intertwined they are. I think peace is the only way. And you mentioned just now, because whosoever controls Gaza in terms of the power that be determines how peace will go. I think before Hamas came into the scene, we witnessed a relatively quiet time until Hamas, who has a different view and has been termed a terrorist organization. But in any case, we want peace in that region, because we don't want war. So thank you so much, Comilante, for that. And I want to thank our viewers who have been making comments. I can see lots of comments coming from Tessie George, from Daniel Locke. Tessie George, you've really been giving your views. Thank you so much for all that you've done. We hope and pray that peace will be restored. By next Sunday, it will be another good thing that we're going to hear from that region. Having said that, we are going to a very important aspect of today's program. In fact, it is the core of our discussion today. Tinubu Wike under Islamic criticism. And I will ask that very important question. Which way, Nigeria? Friends and viewers of the Comrade Show, there's been a video going round about a Muslim cleric. We're going to play that for us to have a very good discussion on this very important topic, because Nigeria is important to us and we don't want it to be under attack in any way, shape, or form, whether religion, whether ethnicity, whatever. We want a united Nigeria. Comrade Lante, if we have that video, can we play it before we start taking comments on this very important issue? Tinubu under Islamic criticism. Which way, Nigeria?
Yeah, let's just quickly put in perspective. This video surfaced. Not just this one. There are a few Islamic clerics that are already calling for the head of Wike. I want to just put it in perspective so we understand. The reason why they came after Wike is because Wike hosted the Israeli ambassador in recent time, and they find that very offensive. And as a matter of fact, I was unable to download one of the videos. Another cleric was accusing Wike and asking if Wike was serving the Christians in Abuja or is there to serve Nigeria. But this particular one was very brutal. This one was calling for the head, calling for lack of support to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It spoke this in Hausa. I listened to the translations, and I tried to, do a voiceover in English. it may not synchronize with exactly what the man is saying, but just for us to get a bit of idea what the man was saying. So you are going to hear my voice over, on this particular tape. But just take a listen, and we'll come back.
This Wike din nan da aka sa Abuja ba matsala yake ba addinin ba. Shi ba sai din sa ba cewa musulmi ya zauna ko kai ya zauna. Ya kori musulmi ya ci mutuncin. Yanzu kuma ya dauko tutar Isra'ila ya kafa ya nuna goyon bayan Allah. Abuja kuma garin mu ne. Domin arewa ce. Idan yan kudu suna ji da Delta da aka bude musu mu kuma da Abuja muke ji. Bai taba kamata a ce ministan Abuja ya zama arme. Wanda wannan abin da gwamnatin Tinubu ta yi na rantsa da Allah shine sa kafar wando ɗaya da zace da mu malamai muslim da ta sa zamu gane yaudarar mu ta yi wallahi kuma ta shirya za mu fara kalubalanta ta akan wannan Abuja ba garin arna bane bai arne bai kamata ya zama ministan Abuja ya raina mana hankali ba ko ba baki bane a Najeriya ana kada bangaren Najeriya ana wulakanta dan arewa wallahi ba za mu lamunci wannan ba za mu hau mambura kwanan nan mu ta hau mambari mu ta faɗa sai an tsige wuke ba wallahi sai kamar Abuja wuke insha Allah dan Abuja ba gidan ku bane gidan mu ne mu yan arewa kuma tunun bai san wannan akan wuke kawai iya wuke mun baka alƙawari wallahi in baka tsige shi wallahi ba za mu zabe ka ba mu ba kai musulun tabbatar din za mu gane yaudara ce mu ce mun dena in za a yi addini na gaskiya ai ka yaudare mu da addini ba shashashin mutane bane mu ka fito baro ka nuna aqidarka da kin musulmai Nasir El-Rufai bai rike Abuja ba bai yi alkhairi a Abuja ba musulmai nawa ne suka rike Abuja suka buga misali sun nuna wariyar launin fata sun taimaki annan sun taimaki musulman amma wanda ya zo yana adawa da baro wallahi muna gaya gwamnatin nan ta shirya ta sa ɗan ba wallahi ko za ki zare rayukan mu ki kashe mu na rantsa da Allah ba ma son wuce kuma dole ya koma shi is wicked person you are wicked man nonsense
Did he not do well? How many Muslims
zo ka wani kafa tutar Isra'ila mu za ka mai da wawaye mutane wallahi wannan mutumin ya ba da haushi kwarai da gaske ranar da na ga yayi wannan abin na ga haushi kwarai da gaske wallahi akwai zargi akan wannan gwamnatin tana so ta ci mutuncin addini wallahi
wallahi
ba za mu lamunci wannan ba tsakani da Allah
it will take our life.
Za ka dauko mana wicket ka zo ka samu da shi a kujerar Abuja ba a nan Tinubu ba tare da kai ko kaɗan in za ka gyara ka gyara in ba haka ba daidai yake kana so ka yi rigima da addinin musulunci daidai yake kana so ka yi rigima da addinin musulunci ministan Abuja bai dace da arni ba in ka kalli ministry ka duba ministan Abuja kamar an kirkire ta ne dan a rage wa mai yan arewa damuwa kamar yadda ba wanda zai inkari Delta ɗin nan bayan sa dan a rage wa ƴan kudu ne dan a rage musu damuwa ne to mu ma haka muke kallon Abuja kuma sannan Abuja ɗin nan fa mutala ne ya tsara plan ɗinta
on this Tinubu we are not with you we are not if you will
yanzu idan ka je Lagos iya kuɗi Lagos mutala ne ya samu musu ita haka ba zai yi wannan abun ba zai yi ba tsakani da Allah Allah ya kare ne ya tsare ba ma san wannan wuce din gaskiya ko ma dai menene dai kawai a cire shi mu ba ma san shi in dai dan mu ɗan ƙasa aka aje shi to ba ma san shi ya koma garin sa a bashi mukami can da yake koran musulmi ya je a bashi mukami amma nan ba zai yi ya zo na nan ya ci mana mutunci ko ya zagi addinin mu Falastina wannan fa su ne da gaskiya ko ba su da gaskiya ma musu muke so saboda suna cewa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah kuma ba su da wani laifi sama da wannan ake tafiya kar wani ya zo ya sa maka wani da tete maka wai Falastina wannan yan shi'a ne duk ƙarya ne Falastina wasu Ahmad ya sun ne fa Falastina din ahlus sunna ne malaman addini ne Falastinawa din nan duk wanda ya sa su a gaba a duk inda yake Allah shi ne masa albarka yan Palestine din nan mutanen Allah ne ana bakin ciki da Baitul Maqdis ne fa in ma duk baka yadda da yan Palestinawa ba me suke karewa
yeah. Thank you so much, Comrade Lampton. Ladies and gentlemen, viewers of the Comrade Show, I thought you've listened to that. I can see that there are so many reactions here and there. I think, Comrade Lampton, this is very important because it's very good. Thanks to Comrade Show for bringing this out. I think the discussion today should be, who are we really? Who are Nigerians? Because we need to address this, and once this is addressed properly, we won't be having any problem. I think, in my view, any Nigerian, whether you are from the north, from the south, from the west, you are fit to hold any position and work anywhere. If indeed we are Nigerians. But if we are being told that we are not Nigerians, then it means that the statement that the gentleman just said, the cleric just said, will be true. So it goes back again to leadership in our country and doing the right thing. Many people have said that we need to go back to our constitution and really define what we want to practice. Today, the general manager of NNPC is a northerner, and that oil comes from the south. Are you now saying that that northerner is not fit to hold that position if he's competent? I would also even go further to say, for national peace and stability, if I were the northerners, I would say, going forward, a northerner should not even be in charge of Abuja. It should always be a south to give a semblance. But we've brought ourselves to this situation now because, indeed, the Muslim ticket is causing lots of problems. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu wanted to be president by all means and started this. So he's actually getting what he wants or what he likes or what he serves himself, because the Muslims now think, or the Northerners now think, that they made the president to win. And as such, they have the power. They have whatever they can do, whatever they want to do, and ask whatever they want to ask. So there is so much strata to this. I just want to get your first reaction before I ask you my next question. How did this video meet you?
I have been very upset. I have been livid, to be honest. I have been very, very angry, and I have been really, really sad. But I think it would be a huge mistake, really, to anchor this on the decision, whatever decision it was, for Bola Ahmed Tinubu to float a Muslim ticket. It would be a huge mistake. This is an age-long parasite. And I'll tell you the reason why I was upset. I was upset because today, in very many circles across this country, there is this unwritten constitutional provision to say that an Igbo person cannot be president of Nigeria. This thing started a long time ago. It started way after the first and the second military coup that took place in Nigeria. After the January 15, 1966 military coup and the July 29, 1966 military coup. You understand? That was when this matter started. The Hausas and the Fulani saw it as an Igbo organized coup. Okay, that's the Major Ezegu-led coup. And in 1966, they removed Aguiyi Ironsi and made a proclamation from there. You understand what I'm saying? And they spread that proclamation along their mosque to say an Igbo man can never rule Nigeria. And that is what we are still reeling from today. That is what the Yoruba elite had found very convenient to work with the Hausas on, to ensure that the Igbos are, taken out of governance when it comes to the highest office of the land in this country. Now, that aside, when I listened to this man, I really, really was sad, because this country is about to evolve into another dynamic, another rhetoric like this. This man said, he quoted El-Rufai and some other Muslims that have governed Abuja as ministers of Abuja. Okay? And he went ahead to say that it was wrong to have made a non-Muslim, in this case Wike, whom he constantly addressed as infidel, to have made him the minister of Abuja. Now, I began to ask myself, and if I even want to say that it should be forbidden for any non-Muslim to be minister of Abuja, because Abuja belongs to the north. He went further to say that just like the Southerners lay claim to Niger Delta oil, so the same way they lay claim to Abuja. He even went further to say that Murtala Mohammed made a mistake to have given Lagos State the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, which the Southerners equally lay claim to, and all of that. Now, what this is leading us into, if we are not careful, is an established, unwritten constitutional provision to say that in future, no non-Muslim should ever be minister of Abuja. He foughted Tinubu and threatened that Tinubu will not end their support, that they support Tinubu for the Muslim ticket. They cannot begin to start attacking Bola Tinubu for the Muslim ticket matter. Invariably threatened to bring Bola Ahmed Tinubu down. Now I ask myself, why was this? Why are these clerics enraged Why are they going for the head of Governor Wike, who is now the Minister of Capital Territory? My brother, Nigerians, just listen. Let me play the video where Wike met with the Israeli ambassador. Well, we can take this conversation. It's very important we discuss this matter and, you know, firmly
like to work
put this matter the way it's supposed to be. You understand what I'm saying now? Let's just take a listen first, then we'll come back to this.
Together with the FCT. You know, the FCT is a capital of Nigeria. I've been in your country now for a year and a half.
Okay.
So a little bit, but not long enough. And I'm really enjoying the country and really loving the country and really loving what we're seeing. And I think that there are, if I can, a couple of areas that I think that would be good for us to be working together on. Obviously, to promote the FCT as the capital of the great nation and of the great people. And I know that having spoken to my colleagues in Israel, we would like you to visit Israel. I don't know if you ever been to it. We would kill for this.
You know, so I think that would be a major area of is very, very commendable. So it's good for us to partner in order to have a large farm that will employ a lot of our youths, make them to participate, you know. So I think that would be a major area of concern. And if you can open up that channel, it will help us enough. And I thank you that we are ready in terms of security to make sure that visitors have a conducive environment to carry out their businesses. To let you know, our publication of
Well,
Yeah.
sorry, sir. I just wanted to play a bit of that, though it's longer than that. I watched the entire clip, and the discussion was on cooperation, economic cooperation. Okay, and I thought that Wike was doing his duty as the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory. Though I have had an off-studio discussion with some people, okay, and some people agree. I probably sparsely agree with that the timing of this meeting that Wike called, you understand, whether the meeting, the appointment had been on before now and every other thing, probably the timing, because of the sensibility of this country, probably the timing was not so right. Okay? Some people hold that opinion that probably Wike should not have had this meeting at this time. There is this crisis between Israel and the Palestinians. Unfortunately, I don't agree with that. I think that Wike was doing his job. So long as Wike has not made any statement to express support for this or for that side, as the case is, you understand what I'm saying? Wike was just doing his job, you know, meeting with an ambassador in Abuja, you understand, which was part of his own duty. Now, even though some people may agree that the timing was wrong, even though the timing was wrong, okay, what we are hearing from this cleric is this meeting not just, you know, exposing, whether this meeting or not just, is this meeting not just exposing what is already in the minds of some of these very extreme, you know, northerners? Because exactly, they are all speaking the same language. Most of them that have come out to speak on this matter, calling for the head of Wike, they are speaking the same language. I have listened to Sheikh Gumi, you understand what I'm saying now? Come after Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This same Sheikh Gumi, who is a terrorist sympathizer, who for 8 years that Buhari was in office, everything that Buhari did wrong, Sheikh Gumi was always there to shield Buhari, never condemning the government for insecurity in Nigeria. And yet under Buhari, more Nigerians died than any other time in the history of this country, apart from during the Civil War. So when it is convenient for these people, they speak for themselves. Now, it's so painful that the issue on ground now, why they're attacking Wike now, is because of the Israeli-Palestinian, you know, squabbles and the issues taking place between Israel and the Palestinians. The man even went ahead in the video to say that Tinubu has not come out to come and take side with the Palestinians. He has not issued a word to support the Palestinians, and he's claiming that he's a northerner, that he's a Muslim. I mean, that he's claiming that he's a Muslim. That if he wants to be a Muslim, he should be a Muslim. So when you hear this rhetoric like this, you ask yourself, like you have asked, who are we? What is Nigeria? Who are Nigerians? Because honestly, I sit down and ask myself right now as I'm sat here, like, there is nothing that connects me that connects me, in any way, shape, or form to these human beings talking right now, like we are from the same country. So, and that is why I am postulating that it's probably very important at this time for us to renegotiate our terms of togetherness. Because when you go back in history and you look at how we are amalgamated as Southern and Northern Protectorate of Nigeria and brought together as Nigerians in 1914 and given the name Nigeria and every other thing, culturally, you understand what I'm saying? Before that time, many of us, between the South and the North, we never had a relationship. So I honestly would say, I make bold to say that before the amalgamation that took place in 1914, that we were called Nigeria, done by the British, there was really no, relationship between most of us in the South and those of them in the North. So bringing us together really was bringing very dangerous currents together. And that's what has been playing out over the years. And I think that it's probably important for us to sit down and rediscuss our Nigerianness and put everything on the platter. And it's very, very wrong for people to think that government is religion. Governance is not religion. What Wike is doing is government. It's not religious. But all of these guys, the northern elite, with all due respect to others who are free from this, they seem to want to draw the Islamic religion into our governance. Buhari was in office as president. Buhari took $1 million without any permission from the National Assembly, without anything, from the treasury of Nigeria, and donated to a religious cause in Afghanistan. Buhari spent over $10 million of Nigerian money promoting different Islamic causes across the world. There was no outcry anywhere. This man just had an economic meeting with an Israeli ambassador, and yet the northern clerics are crumbling for his head. I'm not a fan of Wike. As far as I'm concerned, I think that Wike politically has hurt us in the South very well. But on this matter, my brother, Abba, what is it?
Yeah, Comrade Lante, thank you so much. Friends and viewers of the Comrade Show, I think the issue we are discussing now is really hot cake. It borders on the future and the existence of our country. I would like us to pick our phone, ring in, let us hear your thoughts. We'll continue to ring and talk about your comments. Please, I think it's very important. Let us get the pulse of many Nigerians across the world, what their thoughts are, because I think this issue, as laughable as it is a very, very, very important issue. And it forces us to address which way our country. Well, Comrade Lante, my input on this, let me just put certain disclaimers here. I'm not a fan of Wike. I've never loved him. I think his action and inaction led us to where we are now. I also want to say that the politicians in our country, I like the way this is happening in some sense because it's giving them a dose. They drag religion into politics. When it's convenient for them, they use it very well. When it's not, they use it the other way around. Now it's election time, they've done it. If Bola Ahmed Tinubu has not played that religious card very well, I don't think this cleric will have the effrontery really to begin to make some comments. And they also know that the election is not, the true picture of the election is not what we are getting. So and sometimes when you haven't got the right thing and you have not used the right way to get it, you lack credibility to talk about it. I just wanted to establish that. But having said that, I condemn the call. Let's take the call, please. It's very important. I called for it.
Hello, sir. I think we've lost the call. Go ahead, sir.
Oh, so sorry. We lost the call. I want to say, caller, please, can you call back? We want to really hear from our viewers. So I was trying to make a point to say that the politicians have used it very well to cause problem. In the course of your deposition, you did explain how all this started. And that is why, Comrade Lante, whether bend or break, no matter what happens going forward, Nigerians need to come back to the negotiating table and discuss our existence. Our existence needs to expunge ethnicity and religion away from all this. Let us do the job based on what we can bring to the table. And on the issue of the minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike, hosting the Israeli ambassador. I don't see anything wrong in that. He was doing his job, but I beg to differ slightly from you. Comandante, I know sometimes we have to apply some emotions into this. The world and the country is hot now. I know probably this meeting between Governor Nyesom Wike and former Governor Nyesom Wike, now Minister of the FCT, must have been scheduled. But in this situation, sometimes when you know the way some people think, it would have been wise for Wike to have sort of maybe reschedule and allow the waters to come down. And I also think that Israel is doing everything possible for good causes or sometimes for wrong causes, just to align with so many countries of the world to give a semblance of anything, because anything they are doing now will sort of give credence to the current issue of the Israeli-Palestinian war. So I think Moabi would have been good if they have any emotional intelligence. They would have as well rescheduled this meeting. It happened when President Joe Biden refused to meet Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because he was also trying to sense the pulse of trying to gauge the mood of the situation. He doesn't want to be seen supporting and giving credence to Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
You have a call?
Yeah, let's take the call.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, sorry, Lamte. I just want to contribute quickly.
What's your name? What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
Okay, my name is Dominic from London.
What? Go ahead, Mr. Dominic. We can hear you.
Sorry for not introducing myself. What I just want to say, all the topics we are treating now is absolutely germane before each and every one of us. People forget easily. Thank you, Comrade Lante and Chemist Austin Ranira and our brother there, the doctor. The job you are doing. People easily forget what these guys are doing to us. Let's take, I will align with Lante. We must take away issue between we and Wike, or what people are saying about Wike. That is immaterial. What is concerning us now is to see how these people, we stop these people not to invite trouble to us. By mentioning the war that they are fighting in the Middle East or whatever,
Exactly.
they are creating problems before us. Let them not bring another problem. We know that they are the ones trying to divide us. And the people who are fighting us, go and look at them. They are not Nigerians. These guys are not Nigerians. Is it not high time we divide this country? Is it not high time? What I think people should be talking about, the 8 years period that Buhari used to cut away our money. 8 years, 8 years. He even used Chinese language to borrow money in our neck. And people are laughing. They use Chinese language to borrow money in our neck. This is my concern. So we should be talking about the money that was being cutted away from Nigeria.
Mr. Dominic, please round up. Try to make your point and round off quickly. We're having so many calls coming.
Yeah, that's all I just want to say.
Thank you very much, sir.
Should dwell on that.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I think Comrade Lamte, I must thank Dominic Eriata. He has been a regular contributor to our program, and I think that question that I asked is very important. Yeah. Oftentimes, when this question is asked, people say, "No, are you asking for cessation?" No, we are asking that we redefine how we want Nigeria to be, and if it's clear that we cannot, it will be better for us to divide, to go our separate ways.
You have another call. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, ma. Please, can you reduce your device so we can hear you clearly?
Okay.
What's her name?
Okay, are you hearing me now?
We can hear you, ma. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from London, UK here. My name is Tessie George.
Go ahead, ma. We can hear you.
Yeah, it's just a pity that we found ourselves in this situation. Because at times when I sit down, in the 70s, when we grew up, Nigeria was where we move out 12 a.m., 12 a.m. in the midnight.
Yes.
So I now ask myself, who do we offend that we find ourselves here? I'm not a fan of Wike. You understand?
Yes.
I don't want to use the word hate because I can't create.
Yeah.
You understand? Then what Wike did is right. Wike might have fixed that appointment with that man before this situation happened.
Absolutely.
You know, and with the situation of things, you know, because people like Wike knew that everybody's against him. So he wants to do something to impress the Nigerians that hate him. You understand?
Yes.
So he will not even occur to him, let me cancel this man and give him appointment for next time. Or probably that appointment has been fixed before this thing happened. You understand?
Yeah.
So what is this clerics? What do they mean? What do they mean? Such things cannot happen in the UK, in this country. They will have locked him up somewhere.
Exactly.
Guma is still walking around. Look at all the billions that are being distributed to all those Muslim countries who said they didn't say anything. They didn't utter anything. Now Wike is doing that thing. Now they're ganging up against him that they should remove it. Abuja is in Nigeria.
Yes.
So we cannot, that's not the fact that they have turned the law upside down, trying to change it. And I don't really blame them. We blame Tinubu. If Tinubu has not done Muslim listing, all this will not happen. So my dear brother, I really appreciate two of you. Thank you for this topic that you brought. God will continue to bless your family, bless all what you lay your hands on. So with what they do, in fact, it is wrong.
Yeah.
We don't want war in UK. I mean, we don't want war in Nigeria. We have had enough.
Yes.
Look at who want to send money. People will be begging me for 1,000 naira. You imagine. So we have done that. He didn't think twice. Because he wants to do something to impress Nigerians. And that was why. So I don't really blame Wike for that. I'm not a fan of Wike. I hate him because of the way he plays politics. So that's why I raised my case. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much, madam. God bless, man.
Thank you so much, Tessie George. You have not just only rang in, you have also been contributing. You've been very active in the comment
I barely
section.
hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
I can hear you very well, Comrade Lamte. Can you hear me?
For us to divide, to go our separate way.
Mrs.
Can you
George,
hear me, pharmacist?
I can hear you very well.
Okay, I probably think it's my own.
Yes, so ladies and gentlemen, while we are waiting for Comrade Lamte to get his earpiece fixed, I just want to say thank you to Tessie George. She's been making lots of comments, and she's also rang in to air her view. I think the issue that we are talking just now is very important, and like I said, it's very germane to our Nigerianness. If we want one Nigeria, then we have to do things as one Nigeria. In the course of this discussion, we've also said that the action of the current president taking a Muslim ticket is not also helping matters. But I think the National House of Assembly, talking of the House of Rep and Senate, should begin to think of what is the next thing that we need to do. Because it's only when Nigeria is one that we can have true governance. And some people have also argued that because this election was not won fair and square, it's giving power to people to say what they like, because what they know, we don't really know. Comrade Lamte, are you back? Can you hear me? We are still waiting for Comrade Lamte, but ladies and gentlemen, the issue on ground...
Okay. Yeah, I think I can hear you now, pharmacist. Can you hear me?
I can hear you very well.
Oh my God, I have lost you right there. I don't know what's happening to my...
Yeah, no problem, Comrade Lamte. I can hold the fort. You can log out and log in back. So friends and viewers of the Comrade Show, we are talking about this very important issue where a Muslim cleric has reacted very, very, very negatively to the issue, calling that the present minister of the FCT should be removed because he is not another. And FCT area the northerner as their minister. And we've said that this is as a citizen. I don't think anybody in the north, I don't think anybody in the north is better than anybody in the south. I don't think anybody in the east is better than anybody in the west. I think we are all one. And if leadership is for service, we shouldn't really bother about where you come from, where should be deliverables. Currently, there is huge problems in Nigeria in terms of even people having money to eat. It's not only affecting the north, it's affecting the south, it's affecting the west, it's affecting the east. So we must think of what we need to do to make our country great. And somebody has a very important question.
Hello, pharmacist, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. You are welcome back. Thank you so much.
Okay,
So
thank you very much. I don't know what's happening. Sorry, sir. I don't know what's happening technically.
That's fine. So if we must live together, we have to do things the right way. So, Comrade Lamte, in the course of your deposition, you spoke extensively on this. But sometimes it's good to answer current issues. I think the Muslim ticket is part and one of the many reasons just now that is fueling this. We said it in very clear terms. When people think it's only just to win and become leaders, you can only lead the people that are together. If Nigeria is not together, what will happen to the Tinubu Shetima presidency? And that is why so many people fought that marriage of a Muslim ticket will not lead us anywhere. And you can see the fallout from Lamte. What are your thoughts on that?
No, no, pharmacists, I beg to disagree. I beg to disagree with the issue of Muslim ticket. If I think it was the Bible that says that was out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaketh. Whatever these guys are, they are pushing out right now, it's already what they have conceived in their minds. So the Wike meeting with the Israeli ambassador is just a trigger to express what they already are cooking or what they have cooked. I think that right from the moment Wike was elected, was appointed the minister of FCT, they already had a grasp with it that this man, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is departing from the tradition of having a Muslim person as FCT minister. So whether Wike met with Israeli prime minister or not, this whole bias, this whole narrative was always going to be floated. So I can assure you that Wike is not a Muslim is already a matter that is unsettling many of these northern, elites and clerics. So it's not whether it was a Christian vice that Bola Tinubu has or not, it doesn't matter. If you hear their words, okay, they are saying that an infidel, and I hate that word because it looked like the Islamic clerics don't even understand the meaning of infidel. But I probably forgive them, probably because their own religion, defines infidel, commonly as they use it. But I'm not going to dwell on that. So whether Wike was meeting with Israeli, ambassador or not, it wasn't matter. It's immaterial. The issue is that why is Wike in Abuja? And I can tell you one thing: if it was a Muslim person, if it were a Muslim person that was the FCT minister, okay, first and foremost, they won't come out like this to come and do what they are doing right now. They probably won't go and discuss the matter in their mosque. You got the picture from what I'm saying now. Probably that person will not even invite an Israeli to have this meeting. If it was a Muslim person in Abuja as FCT minister, so they would have sacrificed the interest of their religion. They would have sacrificed the interest of Nigeria, the whole of Nigeria, to favor their religious cause. And the religious cause they are protecting is just a matter of perception. It's not putting food on anybody's table.
Absolutely.
We have a heterogeneous society in Nigeria that we need to sort out everybody's interest. And Wike's meeting with the ambassador of Israel to Nigeria is in everybody's interest. They were not discussing Hamas and Palestinian-Israeli war. Come to think of it, my brother, I don't want to go into the issue of Palestine-Israeli war that's capable of creating problem again in Nigeria, I think you have a call. Let's take
Let's take the call as we begin to round up on this topic.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Good evening, madam. Hello. Can you hear me? I am on a live broadcast. Are you calling to contribute?
Okay.
Sorry, I think it's a familiar.
All right, Comrade Lamte, thank you so much. It's 1 hour on the clock, and I just want us to wrap up on this. But again,
just to wrap up, sir.
No, I want to ask a question.
I was trying to land on this point. That in any case, even the Israeli matter, why is it that when Hamas was, committing act of terrorism against Israel, nobody among these people spoke out? He even went ahead in part of his own exuberance to say that whatever the Hamas and Palestine they have done, they cannot quarrel with them because they are their own. How unjust! Tomorrow you are going to hear because of Palestine-Israeli war, they will start attacking Christians in the north. How long are we going to condone this in this country? And yet, I have friends, some of them Muslims, who have told me that Islam is a religion of peace. They have quoted several passages of Islam that preaches, peace and every other thing. When things like this are happening, you don't hear any of them speak out to condemn characters like this, to condemn deviance like this. They don't speak out. And yet, when this whole matter starts, snowballing, you hear them come out to say, "Oh, Islam is a religion of peace," but they don't condemn elements like this.
Yeah,
they preach to their followers. They would win them. They lie to them and use them against the wider population, and that must stop. And that is why I agree with the idea that we need to start rediscussing our Nigerianness and the issue of separation. There's no treason in it. It must be on the table. If we have to separate, let us separate. Warima say we are not let man for come out, go let them die. We have come to that stage in our national lives. We cannot just be playing politics with everything. When the people you are trying to build a nation with, they are so unfair, they are so unjust. Do you know how many people have died because of religion in our land?
Yeah.
Who does religion put food directly on his table? It's not a personal relationship between human beings and God.
Yeah, Comrade Lamte, I have to stop you there because of time. I was actually going to be talking about solutions, and you've already said one of them. But just before I go on, I want to read the comment by Daniel Agbe on Facebook. I think it's very important and very apt. He said, "God is fighting for the poor in our country. The situation is not by accident." Daniel Agbe, I share in that. I think there will be many more mistakes until we'll get to the promised land, which I think Comrade Lamte is trying to talk about. But Comrade Lamte, we need solutions now. You've given some part of it. I just want to say, why is it that when these Muslim clerics make utterance, we don't have enough Christian clerics to also reply or say something? Why? And secondly, you also said something just now that there are so many good Muslims that we know. Why are they not also reacting? I just want you, in trying to provide solution, we've said that we should come back to talk about our Nigerianness and decide where we want to go. But I just want you, as we wrap up on this topic, why is it that there are no Christians coming out to also speak or at least say something when these statements come out? And why are there good Muslims or good Northerners who know the truth and keep quiet? Why is it? Is it because we become so lackadaistic or we don't care? And that has led us to where we are today. Because when the rain falls, like you said, it's going to fall on everybody.
Thank you very much, Comrade Pharmacist. The truth of the matter is that you already know me, even though we are Christians, you know my position with Christianity. And I think that as much as we need proper reform in Nigeria, in everything, I think that we need to reform Christianity as well. I think that Christianity in Nigeria has lost her purpose. With all due respect to every Christian, I'm a Christian. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? But I think that the price of Christianity, even that of Islam, they've lost their purpose. To be very honest, you understand? If they understand their purpose, I think that statements like this man was making just now, that we just talked about now, this Islamic clerics, should have been better directed to the hunger in the land, the devaluation of the naira currently, the high cost of living, the act of terrorism taking place in the country, the insecurity, the bad governance, the looting, the corruption. This is where we need religion to address, outside of, the relationship between man and God. So I cannot task the Christian religion to do anything, because honestly, with all due respect, I am angered by the practice of Christianity almost generally across Nigeria. Because when you look at it, it doesn't seem like Christianity is adding to the value of the Nigerian state. The same thing with Islam. They are sort of a minus to progress. You understand what I'm saying now? Don't get me wrong. Our internal relationship between us and God is sacrosanct. Okay? That one, nothing can, change that. It's equally unfortunate that these religious people who, in the name of pastors, imams, and all of those people, they are now derailing us from having a direct personal relationship with God. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now, and all of that? So I don't want to task them. I think that every one of these things need to be reformed. It's all part of the discourse that should be on the table. I honestly think that religion in totality should be kept out of government.
Absolutely. I'm with you 100% on that.
People who are religious should come out of their churches and out of their mosques and question why they have bad roads, and question why the schools are dilapidated, and question why, we have over 20 million out of school children in Nigeria, and question why corruption is taking place, and question why Tinubu will go and borrow 1.5 billion at this time, and question all of these issues that are plaguing our national lives. They should question, not to tell us that God will do it. God is not coming to do it. God has given us all the tools and every other thing. Why are we going to ask God to do what God has asked us to do by ourselves? So, my brother, religion, Christianity, Islam, they've lost their values. They should not be part of governance. They should not be part of government. As a matter of fact, I think that they should be paying taxes now from the way things are, because they are purely businesses, as it were. I think government should establish a mainstream where we have certain religious structures that government, gives assent to exist. More than that, the others should be paying taxes because they are business ventures.
Thank you so much, Komilante. I think I said it on previous occasions before on this program that the pastors in our country, by the time this election comes to a close from the Supreme Court, they are going to witness a large chunk of people leaving their fold, because the truth is now known. You remember that there was even a pastor that contested in an election leading up to becoming a candidate. He did not even vote for himself. So, like you said, politics should be taken clearly away from religion. I want to beg Nigerians, let us always speak truth indeed to power. Let us always speak truth indeed to power. And when people make statements that are not correct, let us stand up, especially our religious leaders, to say the truth. Komilante has asked a very important question. Where are the good Muslims and the good Northerners who always say that their religion is a religion of peace? Why do they allow those that use their religion to cause trouble to always have upper hand? And where are the religious people in the South, especially our so-called pastors? And I think I support you, Komilante. I have always known, I have always believed that from time. That's why I'm not a pushover. Religion is business. I have always known that. But your relation between yourself and your God is yourself and your God. And God says it I think it's in the book of Hebrews or so. You have to, faith is yours. And Ecclesiastes completes it, that on the last day, every man will answer himself. You're not going to say, I'm a Pentecostal, I'm a Muslim, and you are going to face God and face God squarely. And is it not a shame that the amount of churches we have in Nigeria, our country is still where we are? Komilante, I think I shared a video with you last Sunday. Maybe we are going to play it again next Sunday, where a lady really, I think that video was very apt and cast serious aspersion on religion and where our country is. So to round up on this, I think Nigeria, if we are going to go forward, governance must change. House of Assembly, national and local must come together to have a paper to redefine how Nigeria would be. And like Dominic Ariata said, if we come to truism that we cannot be together, I don't think it's anything bad for us to separate. Many countries are separated and they've existed and even become better. Some have separated and they have realized that, oh, it would be good for us to be one. They've come back as one. And there's so many examples that abound. So, ladies and gentlemen, friends of the Comrade Show, thank you for that.
Just before you round off on this, let's take 1 minute of that video you sent me. Just 1 minute.
If you have it on cue, let us educate Nigerians once again.
Share this thing. Iron sharpening iron.
Yes, so Zion, yeah. Asaloko. Adoration, Holy Ghost is your power. So African youth, this is all we are clamoring for. We left what we were supposed to do at earlier time and focus on religion. By the time that African youth supposed to come together, unite together, and continue to fight on how to get a good governance, they unite themselves together in order to form one of the biggest religion on earth. This is Enugu, it's an expressway. The roads are not good. We are on traffic. Nobody moves front, nobody moves back. And this is all we are preaching. There is no God anywhere from any Christianity, any pastor, Reverend, that will make your own case to be different. Now I am on traffic here, Reverend Fathers are stuck here, pastors are stuck here, bishops are stuck there. So the illiteracy that is going on in Africa is abolished. You know, by the time that African youth are supposed to unite themselves together in order to get a good government, they unite themselves together to pray. And we are no longer together again because Catholic Church have divided us. Anglican have separated us. Choosing have separated us. The white man introduced religion to you after slavery, and they took on, keeping on, key into science and technology to develop their land. As a black man you continue dabbling in stupidity, that Jesus Christ is coming one day to save you. This is your land where Jesus is coming to save you. Can you see it? This is Igbo land where Jesus Christ lives, where Jesus performed miracles. But the same miracle Jesus has been performing, Jesus has failed to build our road for us. We left to do the needful and continue dabbling in stupidity or in the name of religion. We cannot use our common sense. We will keep on suffering. The white people that gave you religion will keep on building their land, while you will keep on with your eyes closed, praying to unseen spirit. You know, the stupidity of a black man is abolished. A black man who wants to go to heaven, look at where they came from. Black people who are dreaming about heaven that refuse to build their land, look at where they came from. So you want to tell me that you and Switzerland citizen is going to live in heaven when you die? The white man brainwashed you.
Correlante, just before you say anything, I think this video is so good. The part I like is just the ending. You have lived in a tattered and a bad road, and you want to go to heaven where a Switzerland man has never seen bad road, and you just live. I love that part. As it is said, res ipso loquito. The fact speaks for himself.
Exactly.
Absolutely. I don't know if you have any comment to say on that video. That video has given us.
What can we say? It speaks for itself, like you
Absolutely.
said, and this is the point that we are making. I am a Christian. Don't get me wrong, my brother. I have seen God come down in certain situations of my own life where I prayed the hand of God because I believed. I didn't go to any church to pray. I prayed in my own closet, and I prayed for a whole night from midnight till 7 o'clock in the morning, and I expected the result I was waiting for. You understand what I'm saying? By 1 o'clock the very next day, the result came to me, and the resolution of that result, it was put there that the thing was resolved by 10 a.m. that morning. I believe that thing happened because I prayed through the night. That is personal
Hebrew 11.
My energy and relating with my God. So don't get me wrong. I studied the Bible as much as I could to strengthen my own self. And the reason why I do this, in any case, the book we are talking about now, Jesus Christ said, the highest of all the commandments is man, love thy neighbor as thyself. So long as you do not do this to the least of your brethren, you have not done it to me. Do we really practice that very important clause in the Bible? We don't. So my brother, I think that Christianity, Islam should enrich us and enable us to be better human beings to ourselves. I cry every day. We have over 20 million out-of-school children in Nigeria. The private sector, the government, everyone, what are we doing to give life to these young children? You are part of our own program, the program that we are doing, even as small as we are on the Comrade Show, to see how possible we can give opportunities on our platform to school children in Edo State. We know what we discuss, as part of our own humanitarian services and every other thing, just to ensure that people have some level of opportunity to be able to stand in their own lifetime. Is that not what we should be doing? Now, we expect government to champion that. And if government is not championing that, providing health care for us, providing good roads for us, providing everything for us. My brother, I've said and I've argued, and and I have my case very strong. Government and governance is responsible for over 90% of every death that takes place in Nigeria.
Absolutely.
If you hear people die of accidents, they probably have died because we have bad roads. If you have people die in the hospitals, they probably have died because there are no enough equipment to diagnose what is happening to them. And we are quick to say witchcraft. Meanwhile, the things that we're supposed to provide for ourselves to ensure that we are able to, use every available resources available to ensure that we do our own part. We don't have them in place. We don't.
I tell you, Komilante, one solution to our many problems in Nigeria is education. Perhaps that's why the government is not building on education, because when people are educated, they are exposed. They will not listen to all this.
I'm sorry, sir. Without due respect, this recalcitrant that we're talking about right now, using religion, calling the head of Wike and many others, they live in an environment where they deprive children from even acquiring education. Now, if you say you don't like Western education, you don't like English, fine. Teach them in Arabic. Let them know physics in Arabic. Let them know mathematics in Arabic. Let them know, what's it called, the biology in Arabic. Let them know all of these things that will prepare a better future for themselves and the nation. But you put them on Alamajiris. You teach them only Quran. And let them.
Komilante, we cannot overemphasize this. Education is the key. There is no pastor born in mother earth that can tell me anything that I will believe. There is no pope, as I am a Catholic, that will come and tell me what I don't know. Education help you to use your sense. And what our government take away from us in Nigeria and in sub-Saharan Africa is education. Educate the people. You will see growth. You will see prosperity. It's on that note, Komilante, we have about 10 minutes. I'm going to go straight to Edo State because education is very important. And only this week, there was a video trending in Edo State, in somewhere in Ozala. Ozala is in Wonde local government area of Edo State, of a school that was almost non-existent because the walls were caving in. And that gentleman had a video and even asked the children to beg the Edo State government. I hear that building has been demolished now, and building is and development of the site, the place is going to be rebuilt. My question, Komilante, Edo State, your Edo State, my Edo State, would we allow this to happen before the government do what is right? Only a few weeks ago, local government elections were held in Edo State, and one day local government represents as a local government chairman. As we speak, I have not heard any comment from a spokesperson or the chairman of Wonde local government. Granted, Governor Godwin Obaseki is the governor of Edo State, but Ozala, Usarenti Primary School, is in Wonde, and Wonde has a village before having a local government. Shouldn't be hearing from people. All facets of our system is indeed very laughable, especially painful, given the fact that Governor Godwin Obaseki pride himself as saying that education is the key word, and that what do we call it now? I've forgotten the acronym 2.0, 1.0 for education.
Edo Best. Edo
Best 1.0, and they grow to 2.0. Why was the Usarenti Primary School not part of 1.0? Now only missed 2.0 and has gradually become 2.0. 2.1 or 2.2 shortly after that video. I am not casting aspersion on Governor Godwin Obaseki, but he is the governor of Edo State, and everything good or bad will come again to his table. But my question is, where is the local government chairman of Wonde local government? Where are the head teachers? Where is the primary education board? How did that school fall to that level? I heard one of the commissioners have said that the school was penciled for development. How true that is, I don't know. But must it take a video to go viral before succor will come to people? What is your take, Comrade Lamte?
Well, before I speak on this matter, it is important that we visually put these things in perspective. This video surfaced over a week ago, and it actually went viral because of the way, you know, they went about it. But let's watch the video together. It's very important we watch it together.
We don't have time anyway.
Now, certain primary school, Uzala, now be this. The school don't destroy finish. Government not even they do anything. The teachers they manage primary 6. That was on only one video. Primary 6, primary 5, primary 4. That was even primary 3 don't even destroy finish. As they call this morning now, the 2 classes are between away remain. The other one don't still for. Now children not fit enter class. Children not fit enter class. Fear not let teachers enter inside class. May house not go school not go collapse miss them. They just call the secretary to the local government for education for Uodena. They call and say, see as the school be. If they talk story, he said me they relocate the children, go the next to primary school. Because we don't know where else are the primary schools are do there. Now this school now we go time of Ani. Now this school now we go time of Ogbemudia. All the government where you come at this school. But we don't know when they leave this school. Our children they don't go school again. Our children they don't go school again. Government not they do anything. I bet they shut the building. But they see her. We're not the better. Are we not part of the government? Is Uzala not part of who want the local government? Now the community chairman. Now the community come they build this one now. Because we want government, make government come. Government not want to do anything. What thing we do now? Government. All the children more than that. More than back government, more than that. More than that, more than back government. If they to back there, now they go here. Government. If they can need now go happen now. After Mona can repair, or certain primary schools now. Mona can repair certain primary schools now. All of my children, where children call the best papa. Say, Papa, give me food, make I eat. That papa never fail. Government, I beg Governor Obaseki, I beg may you come help Uzala community. Thank you.
Comrade Lamte, let me tell you, just before I allow you to speak, you know, I am very angry. I am angry. See this issue, Comrade Lamte. We should not be calling the governor. We should be calling the local government chairman. But you are going to ask me a very important question. Do we have local government chairmen? Are our state governors not collected all the money meant for local government chairmen? If we had a strategy in place, Governor Obaseki should be dealing with the local government chairman now. What am I saying? Failure of governance.
Well, you know, it breaks my heart. The reason why it breaks my heart is that it just so happened that this children had to cry out. This man had to cry out. The children had to cry out. This video went viral. Arise TV News called the government of Edo State, drew their attention to this video, and within 2 days, this is exactly what happened. Within 2 days, government sent, you know, tractors and sent workers there, relocated the children to a nearby school. I hear that they are working seriously on this school, on this particular school right now. They want to rebuild it, you know, all together, so that this was a death trap. Now, you know the funny thing, where the story is even worse, is that it's not a one-off thing. There are so many other schools in the state. Okay, that are really, really in a bad shape. You know, when you talk of a dope best 1.0, 2.0, that and that and that, you just don't want to use harsh words. Otherwise, some people are already saying that this is a dope best program. Without due respect, I may not agree with them, but I've really heard from different quarters that it's looking like a scam in itself. Because I yoke with a lot of old boys and old girls of different schools in Edo State. We belong to Old Boys Association. We spend money in our various schools. Edokbolo, I mean, I'm talking of legacy schools in Edo State. Edokbolo,
Arewele, Western Boys.
College. You know, all of these schools have one issues or the other. I'm not talking about what happens in the classroom right now. I'm talking about the physical structure of these schools. Because if the physical structure of the school is not all right, where are these students going to learn? Where are they going to study? In this particular case, we are just so happy that tragedy did not happen in this particular school. Because otherwise, you would have just heard that, some breeze, blew and, the building collapsed on children. What would you say? And government statement has said that they have renovated over 300 schools. They have lined up this and that and that and that. And you now ask yourself, in Edo State, where are the 300 schools that have been fixed by government? Government often comes out to say from under Edo Best 1, the Edo Best 2, or whatever, the acronym is, or however they designate it. They show us 1 or 2 schools. And they sort of use that 1 or 2 schools to represent the whole. Which, is exactly what this case is. So, and the question now is, should all of these schools, begin to do videos like this that will go viral before they start getting attention? Because
I think so.
school, they have pushed and pushed and pushed. There was no until this video, they now did a video that has gone viral. Dr. Agbons, our own colleague here, has a school or 2 that he has taken up directly with the Ministry of Education. Because this school, with over 100 children, has just 1 teacher. 1 or 2 teachers. I think when Dr. Agbon comes in this program, I'll ask him to give us update on that. And it's been on that matter till today. Nothing has been done about it. So I honestly think that, if government believes that our effort is okay, they need to step up a lot more. We don't need to have some good schools in some places and have some bad schools in some places. We don't need to have some good schools in a few places and have some bad schools in some places. Everywhere needs to be reached. And the funny thing is that when you bring the Commissioner for Education out here now to squeeze her, you understand the picture what I'm saying now? In fact, they are so sugar-coated, you understand? You will listen to them, you think that Edo State is very close to heaven. But when you go to the ground and see the facts on the ground, when I saw the facts on the ground for Edokbolo Grammar School, I was like, wow, is this possible? There's another school in Ikpobahi, my brother, that one, gully erosion has taken over the whole school. I will send somebody out to go and capture images of these schools, and probably one day we'll just do an expose on some of these things. I think, like you said, we must call on government. You understand what I'm saying? And when things are like this, on the issue of local government, we cannot speak much. To be honest with you, this is a primary school. The local government need to be actually responsible.
Absolutely.
But I can tell you now that it is the Edo State government that has sent, a caterpillar there now to go and demolish that death trap that was standing as a school building. You understand? All of this is because there has been a huge vacuum created when there was supposed to be, election, all of that. There was no, and people have different things to say regarding that. Even the one that he had now, we've talked about it severally as selection and not election, as part of the myriad of issues, not just confronting Nigeria, but confronting all our states. So at the end of the day, my brother, it's all a sham. But if this can spur government to do this, I will thank the government still. I will thank the governor for this response, even though it's a reaction, not really. All the one they tell me, oh, they have a mark this, they have a mark that, man. Save that for the birds. What we are seeing right now is a reaction of what has already gone viral. A reaction to what has already gone viral. But I will thank them, because if they decide not to even respond at all, there's nothing we can do. You understand what I'm saying now? So hopefully that school, in the near future, will come alive and the children will come back to their school, under a better, learning environment, and that'll be fine. But I can assure you, my brother, I will ask the volunteers of the comedy show to take camera around town if it comes to school matter. You understand what I'm saying now? Because I really ask myself now, when they say they have done over 300 schools, I'm asking myself, where are the 300 schools across Edo State? Is it not our small Edo State there? Anyway, we'll leave it there. But thanks to the governor for responding.
Thank you so much, Komilamte. I just want to say something. Governance is very important. I happen to be a school governor in one of the schools in the United Kingdom here. And one of our remit is that we don't go into the day-to-day operation of the school. And the reason is, we are at strategic level. If there is a problem and there's an investigation, we are the people that will go there to investigate. So if we are involved in the day-to-day running of the school, we would have soiled our hand. And this is where I am not happy with the governor, and indeed governors of all the states in Nigeria. Because if the local government were to be operating on their own, the government would have come with a heavy hammer now at a strategic authority to ask the local government chairman, what have you done? But me and you, we know the solution, or we know the answer, because there is no strategic arrangement. So why should we, Komilamte, be calling on the governor for a mere primary school in a local government? That is not right. It's absolutely wrong. We should be calling on the chairman of Uwonde local government and the supervisory councillor for education. But you asked me the question, do we have a local government? The answer is indeed is no. And as we begin to drum up for 2024, I want to sound a note of caution to aspirants and people wanting to be governor to take this into cognizance. Governance is not just all about using money. It's about ensuring that the system works. There should be a clear cut between local government and states, so that in a moment like this, we can hold them indeed to account. And I think that is very, very important. It's on that note that I want to thank all of you for listening to us today and for joining in today's discussion. Komilamte, I just want to give you time to say a word or two just on Edo State Governorship Election 2024 as we wrap up on today's program.
Thank you very much, sir. Nothing much to say. I think that the political parties should put their hands together. It's very important. We've always had the APC and PDP. Now, Labour has now come into the fray. And it looks like Labour is plagued with crisis. I can only recommend that Labour, they got to put their acts together as well. As far as Edo State governorship election is coming up 2024 is concerned, honestly, I want to see people, nominated to represent these political parties. Let us have a problem of choosing,
good people.
Yes, let us the people have a problem. Let every party present very good, credible, verifiable individuals. So we will have the problem of choosing the best amongst the best. You understand the picture? What I'm saying now? Like we don't have any preferred candidate per se. We just want the best to be available so that we can have the choice of choosing to support the best to become the governor of Edo State. And at the end of the day, like the governor, for instance, is getting increasingly unpopular, but I believe time is going to tell. It is early days still. I cannot evaluate Governor Baseki, but there are visible things that I've seen and I've talked about this regularly, where I think that the governor has done very well in. There's so many visible things, but there are other areas I think that government can improve on. Eventually, when we eventually succeed, I guess we're going to have an election and elect a new governor. We hope that they will start from where this government stopped and begin to address some of those salient things that Edo State expected this government to do, that this government probably may not be able to do before the end of their tenure. So, but in any case, we are still part of this system. We will be part of it. We are not going to run away from it, and we will choose sides at some point. We will look at the credentials of those available, those given to us by the political parties at the end of the day that have become candidates of their own political parties. And I hope that we are able to have have headache choosing which is the best amongst the ones available as candidates. That's what I hope for. Otherwise, if they give us meshi for their personal interest, we are going to throw them under the carpet very quickly. You understand what I'm saying? And go for the ones that we believe that would best, fly the flag of Edo State.
Thank you so much, Comrade Lamte. When I was growing up, I was told that knowledge is an everlasting capital, and you can only get knowledge from education. Education is the only way that will lead us out of our present situation. Yeah. Friends and viewers of the Comrade Show, thank you so much for listening to us. In the course of the program, we celebrated our own Omonoba Nedu, who celebrated his birthday and 7th year in the throne. We say happy birthday and wish you the best, and prosperity for Edo State. We looked at the Gaza-Israel issue, and we think that the only way forward is a solution, a two-state solution where people can live happily and live together. We looked at the issue, deciding, is Nigeria still one? And if we must be one, we need to come to the table to really discuss our oneness. And we've also said that religion should not play any role in politics. It should be personal. Above all, we came down to Edo State to look at what happened recently in a school in Wonde local government. We are grateful to the government that they've come to the rescue of that school. But the question still remains, why did we leave it so late for us to fall into that situation? And we think a good local government council will be doing these things instead of the government. So for 2024, it's our hope and our belief that the new government coming into being will tread differently and make governance work. Local government is the key for states surviving. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to us. I must also thank two of our callers today who made very useful contribution to the discussion that we had today. Our friend, a good friend of the show, Dominic Ariata, who rang all the way from London in the United Kingdom. Thank you so much for your comment. I think your suggestion on deciding whether we should remain as one or divide is very apt. It should be discussed. Many of us want Nigeria to remain the same. But if we cannot, maybe division might just be the answer. And our dear sister, Tessie George, who also ran for the United Kingdom. Your voice was indeed very succulent and your contributions were absolutely good. You contributed both by ringing in and also on the comment section. Thank you so much. And for our many viewers who take time out to listen to us every Sunday and make contributions, we remain very grateful. We shall come your way again next Sunday by His grace. Remain good, stay out of trouble, and think Nigeria. Bye for now.
This the Comrade Show. Make Comrade Show way. Comrade Lamte Oriente. This the Comrade Show.